Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at BTC. Thank you for watching this video, and if you'd like to show your support, please hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Feel free to comment with any feedback you may have down below, and while you're down there you can find a link to our Discord. There's a lot of things going on in here. Why not come and check us out? Once you land in the general area, just at mention a member of staff, we'll be happy to help you out. Also in the description below you'll find an affiliate link to BYBIT. This is one of the best exchanges in our opinion. It's the one that we all use when we're trading. Whether you want to leverage trade or just spot trade, it really is a great exchange. Okay, so let's get into the price action. So we were looking at a few things yesterday, and let me come down into the hourly. We were looking at this as a potential ABC to the downside, and we said that could have, we could potentially have another wave here that needs to play out in a 1, 2, 3, and then this is a 4 and a 5, but it's getting quite big now, so uh, it's not really fitting too well unless this is a triangle, in which case we'd be looking to break down from this current point here. It would probably be actually, so that's A, B, C, A, B, C. So we break down below this low again, so A, B, C, D, E. Then we could potentially be starting a 1, 2. So we could potentially, if we look to break these lows here, be starting a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. If that does play out, be expecting a move potentially down to the 16,627 area to this 16,545 area if we did break down. So that would be this little box area over here. If that happens, then we'd have the 1, 2, 3. This would all be a 4 and a 5. Though we just need to be mindful that I'll just check it again. But I think let's measure this up. Okay, yeah, it's over here. So if we move down past the 16,265 area, it would indicate that we're having a bigger 5-wave move to the downside, and we'd have to look at this being a 1, a 2, down here, and a 3, a 4, and then an additional 5th wave, which would be looking to take us down into this retracement area here. The 16,417 to 15,783. That's a broad range of it. This area might be of interest. The 16,187. That's a 0.618 retracement. So if that does play out, we could look to potentially target this or maybe this 16,000 area. Though breaking down below this 15,995 area would indicate that we can't have any more extension within this wave here. So what I mean by that is we couldn't have this be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up into this high and then form a wave 2 and then look to progress in a 1, 2, 1, 2 situation. So that's something that we're monitoring, but currently we haven't lost the support from this channel. So we'll have to see if it maintains. If it does, what we could be looking for instead is either this being an A, down in a B wave here, and looking to push up in a C wave. If that plays out, we could be looking for a short-term move that looks to target out this 16,994 area. So that would be a 1-to-1 area here. So that could effectively form an ABC, or we could be looking for some bigger progression here where potentially we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then something to that effect. We have to see how the structure works off of this. This move here is not giving me much confidence as an impulse, but in the subdivisions there might be something going on. So if we fail though to break back above this high here of 17,141 and also this high here of 17,424, we just need to be mindful that we could always start to break down from here, and what we would be looking for is that 1, 2, 1, 2 situation, and then we have a third wave coming off the back of this. So if this does progress up in this ABC here, let's have a look. It would probably put us So the 0.618 retracement is right on these lows here. So this could we could back test this and find resistance here and get rejected. And if that does happen, then I'd say it's probably quite likely that we're going to be having a situation where this is a wave one, we form a wave two up into these highs, and then we look to break down. Um, with so if I just pull this here, we can have a quick check on this. If we do move up to the 618. Okay, so it's much the same. So breaking down into the 16,227 area would then be the impulsive trigger if we of this move. So obviously, if this developed into an impulsive trigger or an impulse off of this as a one and a two into here, basically what we'd be looking for is that third wave down into this zone, which would then trigger this next third wave and effectively would just form a bigger five-wave move to the downside. So that's the downside potential that we're looking out for. So that this should it develop into a five-wave move, there's two things I'm looking out for. Are we potentially going to form a triangle here? We make a five-wave move to the downside, we get a bounce up, and then we make another five-wave move, and this forms our D-wave touch point. Or is this just going to be the start of a bigger drop to the downside? Because we're still looking for some downward potential. So it could develop as a ABC, and then this is just either a zigzag down, and then we look to progress to the upside again, provided we don't break these lows here. Or we could be looking at a move down or a triangle. So there's a lot of options that can basically play out. We just need confirmation by what happens off the back of this move. So we were still looking at the upside potential as well. So seeing as though we are maintaining this channel for the time being, the stochastic class or RSI on the 1 hourly shows that it could come down a little bit. So that could tie into having one more little drop here. But I think the 4 hourly looks good, and the 8 hourly looks good. The daily is still in the overbought position, but for the most part, we could see a little bit of upside come into play here. So if if that's to play out, what we'd be looking for the potential of is either having something like this where we have a W, an X, and a Y to the upside. So this would be a zigzag, an X wave, basically the zigzag would be into there. An X wave, and then we look to progress to the upside again in a Y, and off of this current low, this 1-to-1 would be this 18,780. If we do get this progression, it might be more slanted like this, but we could look to target out this 1-to-1 area. If, however, we do move to the upside, like I would be looking at this channel line to potentially offer us a rejection point at a later date. So that's just something we need to bear in mind. If we, however, want to look at this as an impulsive move, it would depend where exactly this ends. If we move down again, it would just be a zigzag. But if we move down past this level here, the 16,263, then it would look to invalidate this. But if we just project this out, the current. So if I just put this up onto here, so the current impulsive trigger off of the low on the bottom of that channel is this 19,154. And what we're looking for there is the potential that, let me actually just change this so it's easier to see. So what we could potentially be looking at is this is a 1. Either this 2's finished here or it's going to finish a bit lower. And what we could have is a 2 there. And then, but basically for this example, I'm gonna do it off the current low because we haven't broken it back down again. This would adjust the target slightly. So then we could be looking for something like this where we look to set up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this sense. And if we measure this out quickly off of this current low here, we would be looking at a move down here, and so a potential move, if we get this impulsive trigger, potential move back to the 18,177 area, and then looking for one final push to the upside here for this yellow fifth wave. So if that plays out, basically what we'd be looking at is targeting out this 19,900 to 19,473 area, and that would take us into this zone for this yellow 5 wave count. The thing is, if that plays out, then effectively we would have an additional 5 wave move over here. So this would then become 1, 2, third wave would come into this position, fourth wave would come back down into here, and then we'd be looking to push up for another fifth. So that would be like a bullish counter. This, though, when I say bullish, it'll be short-term bullish, because effectively until we break back above this high point here, get right on there. Should know this number by now. 21,480. Unless we get back above there, this could all still just be a bigger wave one, either into these lows if you want to look at this as a triangle, or into there, and then this is a wave two up into these highs as a flat if it develops into a 5 wave move. So those are the two things that I'm looking out for. There is another possibility that if we look at this move being a 1, 2, 3 triangle 5 into here, that we have this as or that we have, if we develop a 5 wave move here, that we could still see a 5 drop down and then another 5 wave up before looking to continue to the downside. So there's a few things going on that we need to keep an eye on, but for the moment, this is what we need to check. If we can stay above the 15,995 and the 15,476 area, then we can keep these bullish potentials. If we start to break down below this 16,000 area, this whole move turning into a bullish move becomes very unlikely, and the only way I could potentially see it is you would have to look at it potentially as a leading diagonal into here. So you'd have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So a contracting diagonal like this. But because of the structure of this move here, I don't really like looking at it like that. But it is possible, and then we would look to make a retracement down into this box area, and then look to push up again. So there's a lot of options basically, but these are the things we're looking out for. If we manage to hold these zones, we can continue looking for bullish potential, but really until we break back above this 17,422 area, we need to just be careful that we don't start to get extension to the downside here and look to either break these lows, or form a triangle within this zone. So those are the things that I'm looking out for, and I hope you found this video useful. If you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. This really helps us out. I hope everyone has a great day, and until we meet again, keep safe out there.